Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Robert Ralph, freelance writer and content creator. Today I wanted to talk about websites. Should content creators have their own website? It was a question I was asked recently by a friend of mine. They were considering having a website for themselves, and I wanted to explore the pros and cons of having your own website today. The person I'm speaking about has a Medium profile, has their own publication, so they are freelance writers, and let's just delve in and give my opinions on whether you should have your own website and what the pros and the cons are in doing this. Now, just to quantify and give you a little bit of my experience, I've been freelance writing for around about 18 months now. I work on a number of platforms as a content creator. I do have my own website. I've definitely seen some successes and failures in that website. And I'm going to pass on my experience. So if any of you guys and girls that are watching are thinking of having their own website, I'm just going to pass on my experience and let you decide for yourself whether it's for you or not. So without further ado, let's delve into it. At the end of this video, I will let you know what website I use and the current pricing for that website. I'll drop a little link in the description below as well, so if you want to check that out, you can. And for the remaining time in February, there's a little code. If you wish to use it, you'll save yourself 20%. Setting up your website also. But without further ado, let's dive into some of the pros. If you decide to design your own website, there are many affordable ways to do it. The platform that I use is Squarespace. I chose that because it was a simple setup. I chose it because there were templates, and I like the look of the templates. That made it very, very easy just to click, drag and drop and add some content to it. I would say the first benefit of having your own website is that it creates a central hub for all your work. So in my particular case, being a freelance writer, what I can do is if I'm writing for multiple platforms, you can create those stories on your website and then link those stories onto the various platforms such as Quora, such as Medium. So it does become a central hub, so it makes it easy for you to manage your content, then distribute it to the other platforms that you wish to work on also. So central hub for all your work, definitely one of the pros of having your own website. Number two, as far as I'm concerned, of having your own website is you get to decide what it looks like. It's your presentation. It is your graphic design, if you like. You get full, you get to design your own page as you want it. So it's the presentation that you want in your style, in your theme. So you're not governed by what another platform is doing. As an example, if you are writing on Quora or you're writing on Medium, there's a structure, there's a format, and you cannot go outside that format. Whilst that isn't necessarily a bad thing, being able to have complete influence over what your website looks like and the content that's in it, for me is a massive, massive, massive pro. Going alongside that presentation, of course, is the fact that you're creating your own brand. So you're not just saying that you've got this one particular niche, you as a person, as a brand. So my website I'm creating and it's online, it's Robert Ralph the brand, and Robert Ralph does more than just these funny YouTube videos. He does more than just a little bit of writing. You know, I'm across about 10 different platforms now, and I will be doing a video this afternoon talking about those different platforms that I'm on. But essentially it's your presentation, your central hub, and so yeah, that's my pro number two. If you're thinking of the long-term vision of your website also, providing you're getting enough exposure to that website, there's an opportunity for you to do a number of things to gain revenue. First and foremost, if you have a hardcore following and they believe and they like the work that you do, there's always a chance to monetize that in terms of creating specific or special work that's behind a paywall, and you could possibly charge a monthly subscription to get that exclusive content for your paying members only. So that's one way of doing it. The other way, of course, is advertisement, if you wish to do so, and people are willing to work with you, then you could possibly have adverts on your website which will give you an income revenue stream. And the passive incomes are always the best, because literally as you're sleeping, you're getting paid. So what a fantastic way to earn some money through monetization. The other thing, of course, that you could do from your own website is merchandise. A lot of people that have got a large following do expand into this area. So it's another great way of getting paid through your own website as a revenue stream. So they're my 3 pros. Now, there are going to be a lot more, but they're my 3 pros to having your own website. Let's move on to the cons. So the first con for me would be cost. There are a lot of different websites out there where you can create, there are a lot of platforms out there where you can create your own website. These vary in cost, and some are more difficult than others. Because of my background and because I don't have a lot of time, I chose to use Squarespace, as I mentioned earlier, because of the great templates that they provide, and I think that they're very, very cost effective, which I'll come on to at the end of the video. But it is definitely worth doing your research. Don't use Squarespace because I'm using it. There's no affiliate links on this at all. It's just what I decided to use. The other way of doing it, of course, is you could get a designer to create a website for you. Whilst that will probably end up being more professional and easy to use, it would be a much, much larger upfront cost. So definitely do your research to decide which platform will work for you, not just in the short term, because for me, a website is all about long term. It's all about growth. And if that website does very, very well, there's always an opportunity to sell that website on also. Yeah, I think one of the cons would be the cost implementation of setting that website up initially, so do your research. So my second con really would be the time you spend first and foremost by creating the website itself, secondly updating, and then of course trying to drive traffic to that website. This is one of the reasons people turn to other platforms like Medium if indeed you're creating a blog site. You don't need to worry about that type of thing. However, if you're trying to create a brand and you're doing more than just writing, like I said, I'm across 10 different platforms. If you want to create a central hub, you're going to have to spend more time creating that website, updating that website, keeping it relevant, and then trying to drive traffic to that website. So you're taking on a whole new load of work. And in my case, that is one of my failures. I've created a website. There's lots of potential and scope to expand on that website. And there's definitely ways to monetize that website and bring in more revenue. I just simply don't have the time. I've really bitten off more than I can chew. And I probably haven't updated my website for, I don't know, 3-4 months possibly. I'll link my website below so you can have a little look at it. I might be a little bit canny and just chuck a story on there just so it's got something relevant when you go and have a little look at it before I launch this video. But it can be a bit of a drain. So time is one thing that we cannot create. Time for me is precious, and I think it's probably when I created my website, I didn't really think of the time element of it. So definitely something worth considering. Can you spend 3 or 4 hours trying to drive people to your website each week? Can you spend that time updating your website? Really think about the time element of it. Hopefully you choose the right platform to host your website. If you make the wrong choice or you go a little bit cheap, there's always a reason why some websites are cheaper than others. You could run into technical issues. Now, if you've got a following who are constantly going back to your website every single week or possibly daily, and 2 or 3 times that week they go to your website and it's down, they're going to suddenly stop coming to your website. So if you have a website yourself, you've got to make sure it's all maintained and you don't have server issues, because technical issues can be very, very frustrating for both the creator of the website and your readers or viewers coming to it. So make sure you choose the right platform that has real stability. The last one I wanted to mention today, hopefully it isn't a major issue, but with some of the older platforms, it can be. And that is just to make sure that your website is mobile friendly. I haven't got figures here, but I know in my day-to-day work in practice, we design our website based on a mobile. Because when you look at a website on a mobile phone compared to a desktop as an example, they are very, very different. If you design your website based on a computer, it doesn't always scale correctly for a mobile phone. So what you need to do is scale for a mobile phone. That will be okay on a desktop also. So please make sure that if you do design a website, you design it based on a mobile phone, because it will scale to a general laptop or PC, but not always vice versa. So that is a little tip that I can give you, and previously I have fallen short of that as well, and I do not want you to get into a situation that I did, because then you've got to start all over again. That is really frustrating. So as I said, I'm using Squarespace. There's no affiliate in this whatsoever. They do have a promotional code for February, which is FEB 20 WC, and if you use that, you'll get 20% off if you join them during February of 2023. So why not use that code if you're thinking of starting with them? And I just want to give you a little bit of pricing. I've chosen to show the pricing based on if you pay an annual fee, so you pay it all up front. There is costs if you want to pay it on the drip and pay it monthly. But if it's affordable to you, just make that extra saving and pay it annually. They do 4 different solutions, which is basically personal, business, commercial, and then advanced commercial. If you pay annually, the monthly subscription for personal is £12 a month, £17 for business, 28 for commercial, and 35 for advanced commercial. So you times that by 12, and that's what they'll take from you for an annual subscription. So without further ado, I hope that helps you. Those costings for February I will put on the screen, so I haven't got them in front of me. I'm literally reading from my Remarkable 2, but I will put them on the screen so they're there for you all to see. Thanks for watching today's content. I hope it was very, very useful to you. Again, I'm trying to deliver the content that you're asking for, and because it was a recent question, I thought I'd cover it in today's topic. This is Robert Ralph, freelance writer and content creator.